A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. Act 1, Scene 1. Athens, the Palace of Theseus. Enter Theseus, Hippolyta, Philostrate, and attendants.
Now, fair Hippolyta, our nuptial hour draws on apace. 4 happy days bring in another moon. But oh, methinks how slow this old moon wanes. She lingers my desires, like to a step-dame or a dowager long withering out a young man's revenue.
4 days will quickly steep themselves in night. 4 nights will quickly dream away the time. And then the moon, like to a silver bow, new bent in heaven, shall behold the night of our solemnities.
Go, Philostrate, stir up the Athenian youth to merriments. Awake the pert and nimble spirit of mirth. Turn melancholy forth to funerals. The pale companion is not for our pomp.
Exit Philostrate.
Hippolyta, I wooed thee with my sword, and won thy love, doing thee injuries. But I will wed thee in another key, with pomp, with triumph, and with revelling.
Enter Aegeus, Hermia, Lysander, and Demetrius.
Happy be Theseus, our renowned Duke.
Thanks, good Aegeus. What's the news with thee?
Full of vexation come I, with complaint against my child, my daughter Hermia. Stand forth, Demetrius. My noble lord, this man hath my consent to marry her. Stand forth, Lysander. And my gracious Duke, this man hath bewitched the bosom of my child. Thou, Lysander, thou hast given her rhymes, and interchanged love tokens with my child. Thou hast by moonlight at her window sung, with feigning voice, verses of feigning love, and stolen the impression of her fantasy with bracelets of thy hair, rings, gauds, conceits, knacks, trifles, nosegays, sweetmeats, messengers of strong prevailment in unhardened youth. With cunning hast thou filched my daughter's heart, turned her obedience, which is due to me, to stubborn harshness. And, my gracious Duke, be it so she will not here before your grace consent to marry with Demetrius, I beg the ancient privilege of Athens, as she is mine, I may dispose of her, which shall be either to this gentleman or to her death, according to our law, immediately provided in that case.
What say you, Hermia? Be advised, fair maid. To you your father should be as a god, one that composed your beauties, yea, and one to whom you are but a form in wax by him imprinted, and within his power to leave the figure or disfigure it. Demetrius is a worthy gentleman.
So is Lysander.
In himself he is, but in this kind, wanting your father's voice, the other must be held the worthier.
I would my father looked but with my eyes.
Rather your eyes must with his judgment look.
I do entreat your grace to pardon me. I know not by what power I am made bold, nor how it may concern my modesty in such a presence here to plead my thoughts. But I beseech your grace that I may know the worst that may befall me in this case, if I refuse to wed Demetrius.
Either to die the death, or to abjure forever the society of men. Therefore, fair Hermia, question your desires, know of your youth, examine well your blood, whether, if you yield not to your father's choice, you can endure the livery of a nun. For I to be in shady cloister mewed, to live a barren sister all your life, chanting faint hymns to the cold fruitless moon. Thrice blessed they that masters sow their blood, to undergo such maiden pilgrimage. But earthlier happy is the rose distilled, than that which withering on the virgin thorn, grows, lives, and dies in single blessedness.
So will I grow, so live, so die, my lord, ere I will yield my virgin patent up unto his lordship, whose unwished yoke my soul consents not to give sovereignty.
Take time to pause, and by the next new moon, the sealing day betwixt my love and thee, for everlasting bond of fellowship, Upon that day, either prepare to die for disobedience to your father's will, or else to wed Demetrius, as he would, or on Diana's altar to protest for austerity and single life.
Relent, sweet Hermia, and Lysander, yield thy crazed title to my certain right.
You have her father's love, Demetrius. Let me have Hermia's. Do you marry him?
Scornful Lysander, true, he hath my love, and what is mine my love shall render him. And she is mine, and all my right of her I do estate unto Demetrius.
I am, my lord, as well derived as he, as well possessed. My love is more than his, my fortunes every way as fairly ranked, if not with advantage, as Demetrius. And, which is more than all these boasts can be, I am beloved of beauteous Hermia. Why should not I then prosecute my right? Demetrius, all about to his head, made love to Nidar's daughter Helena, and won her soul, and she, sweet lady, dotes, devoutly dotes in idolatry upon this spotted and inconstant man.
I must confess that I have heard so much, and with Demetrius thought to have spoke thereof, but being overfull of self-affairs, my mind did lose it. But Demetrius, come, and come, Aegeus, you shall go with me. I have some private schooling for you both. For you, fair Hermia, look you arm yourself to fit your fancies to your father's will, or else the law of Athens yields you up, which by no means we may extenuate, to death, or to vow of single life. Come, my Hippolyta, what cheer, my love? Demetrius and Aegeus, go along. I must employ you in some business against our nuptial, and confer with you of something nearly that concerns yourselves.
With duty and desire we follow you.
Exeunt all but Lysander and Hermia.
How now, my love, why is your cheek so pale? How chance the roses there do fade so fast?
Belike for want of rain, which I could well beteem them from the tempest of my eyes.
Ay me, for aught that I could ever read, could ever hear by tale or history, the course of true love never did run smooth, but either it was different in blood,
O cross, too high to be enthralled till low,
or else misgraft in respect of years,
O spite, too old to be engaged to young,
or else it stood upon the choice of friends,
O hell, to choose love by another's eyes,
or if there were a sympathy in choice, war, death, or sickness did lay siege to it, making it momentary as a sound, swift as a shadow, short as any dream, brief as the lightning and the collied night that in a spleen unfolds both heaven and earth, and ere a man hath power to say, Behold, the jaws of darkness do devour it up. So quick bright things come to confusion.
If then true lovers have been ever crossed, it stands as an edict in destiny. Then let us teach our trial patience, because it is a customary cross, as due to love as thoughts and dreams and sighs, wishes and tears, poor fancy's followers.
A good persuasion. Therefore hear me, Hermia. I have a widow aunt, a dowager, of great revenue, and she hath no child. From Athens is her house remote 7 leagues, and she respects me as her only son. There, gentle Hermia, may I marry thee, and to that place the sharp Athenian law cannot pursue us. If thou lovest me then, steal forth thy father's house tomorrow night, and in the wood a league without the town, where I did meet thee once with Helena, to do observance to a morn of May, there will I stay for thee.
My good Lysander, I swear to thee by Cupid's strongest bow, by his best arrow with the golden head, by the simplicity of Venus' doves, by that which knitteth souls and prospers loves, and by that fire which burned the Carthage queen when the false Troyan under sail was seen, by all the vows that ever men have broke, in number more than ever women spoke, in that same place thou hast appointed me, tomorrow truly will I meet with thee.
Keep promise, love. Look, here comes Helena.
Enter Helena.
Godspeed, fair Helena, whither away?
Call you me fair? That fair again unsay, Demetrius loves your fair. Oh, happy fair, your eyes are lodestars, and your tongue's sweet air more tunable than lark to shepherd's ear, when wheat is green, when hawthorn buds appear. Sickness is catching, oh, were favor so, yours would I catch, fair Hermia, ere I go. My ear should catch your voice, my eye your eye, my tongue should catch your tongue's sweet melody. Were the world mine, Demetrius being baited, the rest I'd give to you to be translated. Oh, teach me how you look, and with what art you sway the motion of Demetrius's heart.
I frown upon him, yet he loves me still.
Oh, that your frowns would teach my smiles such skill.
I give him curses, yet he gives me love.
Oh, that my prayers could such affection move.
The more I hate, the more he follows me.
The more I love, the more he hateth me.
His folly, Helena, is no fault of mine.
None but your beauty. Would that fault were mine.
Take comfort, he no more shall see my face. Lysander and myself will fly this place. Before the time I did Lysander see, seemed Athens as a paradise to me. Oh then, what graces in my love do dwell, that he hath turned a heaven unto a hell.
Helen, to you our minds we will unfold. Tomorrow night, when Phoebe doth behold her silver visage in the watery glass, decking with liquid pearl the bladed grass, a time that lovers' flights doth still conceal, through Athens' gates have we devised to steal.
And in the wood, where often you and I upon faint primrose beds were wont to lie, emptying our bosoms of their counsel sweet, there my Lysander and myself shall meet, and thence from Athens turn away our eyes, to seek new friends and stranger companies. Farewell, sweet playfellow, pray thou for us, and good luck grant thee thy Demetrius. Keep word, Lysander, we must starve our sight from lovers' food till morrow deep midnight.
I will, my Hermia.
Exit Hermia.
Helena, adieu. As you on him, Demetrius dote on you.
Exit.
How happy some or other some can be. Through Athens I am thought as fair as she. But what of that? Demetrius thinks not so. He will not know what all but he do know. And as he errs doting on Hermia's eyes, so I, admiring of his qualities, things base and vile folding no quantity, love can transpose to form and dignity. Love looks not with the eyes but with the mind, and therefore is winged Cupid painted blind, nor hath love's mind of any judgment taste, wings and no eyes figure unheedy haste. And therefore is love said to be a child, because in choice he is so oft beguiled. As waggish boys in games themselves forswear, so the boy love is perjured everywhere. For ere Demetrius looked on Hermia's eye, he hailed down oaths that he was only mine. And when this hail some heat from Hermia felt, so he dissolved, and showers of oaths did melt. I will go tell him of fair Hermia's flight, then to the wood will he tomorrow night pursue her. And for this intelligence, if I have thanks, it is a dear expense. But herein mean I to enrich my pain, to have his sight thither and back again.
Exit. Scene 2. Athens. Quince's house. Enter Quince, Snug, Bottom, Flute, Snout, and Starveling.
Is all our company here?
You were best to call them generally man by man according to the scrap.
Here is the scroll of every man's name, which is thought fit through all Athens to play in our interlude before the Duke and the Duchess on his wedding day at night.
First, good Peter Quince, say what the play treats on, then read the names of the actors, and so grow to a point.
Marry, our play is the most lamentable comedy and most cruel death of Pyramus and Thisbe.
A very good piece of work, I assure you, and a merry. Now, good Peter Quince, call forth your actors by the scroll. Masters, spread yourselves.
Answer, as I call you. Nick Bottom, the Weaver.
Ready? Name what part I am for and proceed.
You, Nick Bottom, are set down for Pyramus.
What is Pyramus? A lover or a tyrant?
A lover that kills himself, most gallant for love.
Oh, that will ask some tears in the true performing of it. If I do it, let the audience look to their eyes. I will move storms. I will condole in some measure to the rest. Yet my chief humour is for a tyrant. I could play Hercules rarely, or a part to tear a cat in to make all split. The raging rocks and shivering shocks shall break the locks of prison gates, and Phoebus's car shall shine from far and make and mar the foolish fates. Oh, this was lofty. Now, name the rest of the players. This is Hercules' vein, a tyrant's vein. A lover is more condoling.
Francis Flute, the bellows mender.
Here, Peter Quince.
Flute, you must take Thisbe on you.
What is Thisbe? A wandering knight?
It is the lady that Pyramus must love.
Oh, nay, faith, let me not play a woman. I have a beard coming.
That's all one. You shall play it in a mask, and you may speak as small as you will.
And I may hide my face. Let me play Thisbe too. I'll speak in a monstrous little voice. Thisne, Thisne. Ah, Pyramus, lover dear, thy Thisbe dear, and lady dear.
No, you must play Pyramus, and Flute, you Thisbe.
Wow. Proceed.
Robin Starveling, the tailor.
Here, Peter Quince.
Robin Starveling, you must play Thisbe's mother. Tom Snout, the tinker.
Here, Peter Quince.
You, Pyramus's father, and myself, Thisbe's father. Snug the joiner, you the lion's part, and I hope here is a play fitted.
Have you the lion's part written? Pray you, if it be, give it me, for I am slow of study.
You may do it extempore, for it is nothing but roaring.
Let me play the lion too. I will roar. I will do any man's heart good to hear me. I will roar. I will make the Duke say, let him roar again. Let him roar again.
And you should do it too terribly, you would fright the Duchess and the ladies, that they would shriek, and that were enough to hang us all.
That would hang us, every mother's son.
That would hang us, every mother's son.
I grant you, friends, if you should frighten the ladies out of their wits, they would have no more discretion but to hang us. But I will aggravate my voice, so that I will roar you as gently as any sucking dove. I will roar you, and 'twere any nightingale.
You can play no part but Pyramus, for Pyramus is a sweet-faced man, a proper man as one shall see in a summer's day, a most lovely, gentlemanlike man. Therefore you must needs play Pyramus.
Well, I will undertake it. What beard were I best to play it in?
Why, what you will.
I will discharge it in either your straw colour beard, your orange tawny beard, your purple ingrain beard, or your French crown colour beard, your perfect yellow.
Some of your French crowns have no hair at all, and then you will play barefaced. But masters, here are your parts, and I am to entreat you, request you, and desire you to con them by tomorrow night, and meet me in the palace wood, a mile without the town, by moonlight. There we will rehearse, for if we meet in the city, we shall be dogged with company, and our device is known. In the meantime, I will draw a bill of properties, such as our play wants. I pray you, fail me not.
We will meet, and there we may rehearse most obscenely and courageously. Take pains. Be perfect. Adieu.
At the Duke's Oak we meet.
Enough. Hold, or cut bowstrings.
Exeunt. End of Act 1 of A Midsummer Night's Dream, A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. Act 2, Scene 1. A wood near Athens. Enter from opposite sides a fairy and Puck.
How now, spirit, whither wander you?
Over hill, over dale, through bush, through briar, over park, over pale, through flood, through fire, I do wander everywhere, swifter than the moosphere. And I serve the fairy queen to dew her orbs upon the green. The cowslips tall her pensioners be, in their gold coats spots you see. Those be Ruby's fairy favours, in those freckles live their savours. I must go seek some dewdrops here, and hang a pearl in every cowslip's ear. Farewell, thou lob of spirits, I'll be gone, our queen and all our elves come here anon.
The king doth keep his revels here tonight. Take heed the queen come not within his sight. For Oberon is passing fell and wroth, because she as her attendant hath a lovely boy stolen from an Indian king. She never had so sweet a changeling, and jealous Oberon would have the child knight of his training to trace the forests wild. But she perforce withholds the loved boy, crowns him with flowers, and makes him all her joy. And now they never meet in grove or green, by fountain clear or spangled starlight sheen. But they do swear that all their elves for fear creep into acorn cups and hide them there.
Either I mistake your shape and making quite, or else you are that shrewd and knavish sprite, called Robin Goodfellow. Are you not he that frightens the maids of the villagery? Skim milk and sometimes labour in the kern, and bootless make the breathless housewife churn, and sometimes make the drink to bear no balm, mislead night wanderers laughing at their harm. Those that hobgoblin call you in sweet puck, you do their work, and they shall have good luck. Are not you he?
Thou speak'st aright, I am that merry wanderer of the night. I jest to Oberon and make him smile, when I a fat and bean-fed horse beguile, neighing in likeness of a filly foal. And sometime lurk I in a gossip's bowl, in very likeness of a roasted crab, and when she drinks, against her lips I bob, and on her withered dewlap pour the ale. The wisest aunt, telling the saddest tale, sometime for 3-foot stool mistaketh me. Then slip I from her bum, down topples she, and Tailor cries, and falls into a cough. And then the whole choir hold their hips and laugh, and waxen in their mirth and knees, and swear a merrier hour was never wasted there. But room, fairy, here comes Oberon.
And here, my mistress, would that he were gone.
Enter, from one side, Oberon with his train, from the other, Titania with hers.
Ill met by moonlight, proud Titania.
What? Jealous Oberon? Fairies, skip hence. I have forsworn his bed and company.
Tarry, rash wanton. Am not I thy lord?
Then I must be thy lady. But I know, when thou hast stolen away from fairyland, and in the shape of Corin sat all day, playing on pipes of corn and versing love to amorous Phillida. Why art thou here, come from the farthest steppe of India? But that, forsooth, the bouncing Amazon, your buskined mistress and your warrior love, to Theseus must be wedded, and you come to give their bed joy and prosperity.
How canst thou thus for shame, Titania, glance at my credit with Hippolyta, knowing I know thy love to Theseus? Didst thou not lead him through the glimmering night from Perigenia, whom he ravished, and make him with fair Aegle break his faith with Ariadne and Antiopa?
These are the forgeries of jealousy, and never since the middle summer spring met we on hill, in dale, forest or mead, by paved fountain or by rushy brook, or in the beached margent of the sea, to dance our ringlets to the whistling wind. But with thy brawls thou hast disturbed our sport. Therefore the winds, piping to us in vain, as in revenge, have sucked up from the sea contagious fogs, which falling in the land have every pelting river made so proud that they have overborne their continents. The ox hath therefore stretched his yoke in vain, the ploughman lost his sweat, and the green corn hath rotted ere his youth attained a beard. The fold stands empty in the drowned field, the crows are fatted with the murrian flock, the 9 men's morris is filled up with mud, and the quaint mazes in the wanton green, for lack of tread, are undistinguishable. The human mortals want their winter here. No night is now with hymn or carol blessed. Therefore the moon, the governess of floods, pale in her anger, washes all the air, that rheumatic diseases do abound. And thorough this distemperature we see the seasons alter, hoary-headed frosts far in the fresh lap of the crimson rose, and on old Hiam's thin and icy crown an odorous chaplet of sweet summer buds is, as in mockery, set. The spring, the summer, the childing autumn, angry winter, change their wonted liveries, and the mazed world, by their increase, now knows not which is which. And this same progeny of evils comes from our debate, from our dissension. We are their parents and original.
Do you amend it then? It lies in you. Why should Titania cross her Oberon? I do but beg a little changeling boy to be my henchman.
Set your heart at rest. The fairyland buys not the child of me. His mother was a votaress of my order, and, in the spiced Indian air by night, full often hath she gossiped by my side, and sat with me on Neptune's yellow sands, marking the embarked traders on the flood, when we have laughed to see the sails conceive, and grow big-bellied with the wanton wind, which she, with pretty and with swimming gait following, her womb then rich with my young squire, would imitate and sail upon the land to fetch me trifles, and return again, as from a voyage, rich with merchandise. But she, being mortal, of that boy did die, and for her sake do I rear up her boy, and for her sake I will not part with him.
How long within this wood intend you stay?
Perchance, till after Theseus's wedding day. If you will patiently dance in our round, and see our moonlight revels, go with us. If not, shun me, and I will spare your haunts.
Give me that boy, and I will go with thee.
Not for thy fairy kingdom. Fair is away. We shall chide downright if I longer stay.
Exit Titania with her train.
Well, go thy way. Thou shalt not from this grove till I torment thee for this injury. My gentle Puck, come hither. Thou rememberest since once I sat upon a promontory, and heard a mermaid on a dolphin's back, uttering such dulcet and harmonious breath, that the rude sea grew civil at her song, and certain stars shot madly from their spheres, to hear the sea maid's music.
I remember.
That very time I saw, but thou couldst not, flying between the cold moon and the earth, Cupid all armed. A certain aim he took at a fair vestal throned by the west, and loosed his love shaft smartly from his bow, as it should pierce 100,000 hearts. But I might see young Cupid's fiery shaft quenched in the chaste beams of the watery moon, and the imperial votaress pass on, in maiden meditation fancy free. Yet marked I where the bolt of Cupid fell. It fell upon a little western flower, before milk white, now purple with love's wound, and maidens call it love in idleness. Fetch me that flower, the herb I showed thee once. The juice of it on sleeping eyelids laid will make or man or woman madly dote upon the next live creature that it sees. Fetch me this herb, and be thou here again, ere the Leviathan can swim a league.
I'll put a girdle round the earth in 40 minutes.
Exit.
Having once this juice, I'll watch Titania when she is asleep, and drop the liquor of it in her eyes. The next thing then she waking looks upon, be it on lion, bear, or wolf, or bull, on meddling monkey, or on busy ape, she shall pursue it with the soul of love. And ere I take this charm from off her sight, as I can take it with another herb, I'll make her render up her page to me. But who comes here? I am invisible, and I will overhear their conference.
Enter Demetrius, Helena following him.
I love thee not, therefore pursue me not. Where is Lysander and fair Hermia? The one I'll slay, the other slayeth me. Thou toldest me they were stolen unto this wood, and here am I, and woed within this wood, because I cannot meet my Hermia. Hence, get thee gone, and follow me no more.
You draw me, you hard-hearted adamant. But yet you draw not iron, for my heart is true as steel. Leave you your power to draw, and I shall have no power to follow you.
Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or rather, do I not, in plainest truth, tell you I do not nor I cannot love you?
And even for that do I love you the more. I am your spaniel, and Demetrius, the more you beat me, I will fawn on you. Use me but as your spaniel. Spurn me, strike me, neglect me, lose me, only give me leave, unworthy as I am to follow you. What worser place can I beg in your love, and yet a place of high respect with me, than to be used as you use your dog?
Tempt not too much the hatred of my spirit, for I am sick when I do look on you.
And I am sick when I look not on you.
You do impeach your modesty too much. To leave the city, and commit yourself into the hands of one that loves you not. To trust the opportunity of night, and the ill counsel of a desert place with the rich worth of your virginity.
Your virtue is my privilege, for that it is not night when I do see your face. Therefore I think I am not in the night, nor doth this wood lack worlds of company, for you in my respect are all the world. Then how can it be said I am alone when all the world is here to look on me?
I'll run from thee and hide thee in the brakes, and leave thee to the mercy of wild beasts.
The wildest hath not such a heart as you. Run when you will, the story shall be changed. Apollo flies, and Daphne holds the chase. The dove pursues the griffin, the mild hind makes speed to catch the tiger. Bootless speed when cowardice pursues and valor flies.
I will not stay thy questions. Let me go, or if thou follow me, do not believe, but I shall do thee mischief in the wood.
Aye, in the temple, in the town, the field you do me mischief. Fie, Demetrius, your wrongs do set a scandal on my sex. We cannot fight for love as men may do. We should be wooed, and we're not made to woo.
Exit Demetrius.
I'll follow thee, and make a heaven of hell, to die upon the hand I love so well.
Exit.
Fare thee well, nymph. Ere he do leave this grove, thou shalt fly him, and he shall seek thy love.
Re-enter Puck.
Hast thou the flower there? Welcome, wanderer.
Aye, there it is.
I pray thee, give it me. I know a bank where the wild thyme blows, where oxlips and the nodding violet grows, quite over-canopied with luscious woodbine, with sweet musk roses and with elegantine. There sleeps Titania some time of the night, lulled in these flowers with dances and delight, and there the snake throws her enameled skin weed-wide enough to wrap a fairy in. And with the juice of this I'll streak her eyes, and make her full of hateful fantasies. Take thou some of it, and seek through this grove. A sweet Athenian lady is in love with a disdainful youth. Anoint his eyes, but do it when the next thing he espies may be the lady. Thou shalt know the man by the Athenian garments he hath on. Effect it with some care, that he may prove more fond of her than she upon her love. And look thou meet me ere the first cock crow.
Fear not, my lord, your servant shall do so.
Exeunt. Scene 2. Another part of the wood. Enter Titania with her train.
Come, now a roundelin of fairy song. Then, for the third part of a minute, hence. Some to kill cankers in the musk rose buds. Some war with rare mice for their leathern wings, to make my small elves coats. And some keep back the clamorous owl that nightly hoots and wonders at our quaint spirits. Sing me now asleep, then to your offices, and let me rest.
You spotted snakes with double tongues, thorny birch balls be not seen. Roots and blind worms do no wrong. Come and hear our fairy queen. Hear a man with melody, singing our sweet lullaby. So good night with lullaby, weaving spiders on our deep, and soon legs innocence, visions black approach not near, one snail do no offense, Philomel with melody, singing our sweet lullaby, la 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 lullaby, la 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 lullaby. Never harm, no spell, no charm, come our lovely lady night. So good night with lullaby. So good night with lullaby.
Hence away, now all is well, one aloof stands sentinel.
Exeunt fairies. Titania sleeps. Enter Oberon and squeezes the flower on Titania's eyelids.
What thou seest when thou dost wake, do it for thy true love take, love and languish for his sake. Be it ounce or cat or bear, pard or boar with bristled hair, in thy eye that shall appear, when thou wakest, it is thy dear. Wake when some vile thing is near.
Exit. Enter Lysander and Hermia.
Fair love, you faint with wandering in the wood, and, to speak troth, I have forgot our way. We'll rest us, Hermia, if you think it good, and tarry for the comfort of the day.
Be it so, Lysander. Find you out to bed, for I upon this bank will rest my head.
One turf shall serve as pillow for us both, one heart, one bed, two bosoms, and one troth.
Nay, good Lysander, for my sake, my dear, lie further off yet. Do not lie so near.
Oh, take the sense, sweet, of my innocence. Love takes the meaning in love's conference. I mean that my heart unto yours is knit, so that but one heart we can make of it. Two bosoms interchained with an oath, so then two bosoms and a single troth. Then by your side no bedroom me deny, for lying so, Hermia, I do not lie.
Lysander riddles very prettily. Now much beshrew my manners and my pride, if Hermia meant to say Lysander lied. But, gentle friend, for love and courtesy, lie further off. In human modesty, such separation as may well be said, becomes a virtuous bachelor and a maid. So far be distant, and good night, sweet friend. Thy love ne'er alter, till thy sweet life end.
Amen, amen to that fair prayer, say I, and then end life when I end loyalty. Here is my bed. Sleep give thee all his rest.
With half that wish the wisher's eyes be pressed.
They sleep. Enter Puck.
Through the forest have I gone, but Athenian found I none on whose eyes I might approve this flower's force in stirring love. Night and silence. Who is here? Weeds of Athens he doth wear. This is he my master said despised the Athenian maid, and here the maiden sleeping sound on the dank and dirty ground. Pretty soul, she durst not lie near this lack-love, this kill-courtesy. Churl, upon thy eyes I throw all the power this charm doth owe. When thou wakest, let love forbid sleep his seat on thy eyelid. So awake when I am gone, for I must now to Oberon.
Exit. Enter Demetrius and Helena, running.
Stay, though thou kill me, sweet Demetrius.
I charge thee, hence, and do not haunt me thus.
Oh, wilt thou, darkling, leave me? Do not so.
Stay on thy peril, I alone will go.
Exit.
Oh, I am out of breath in this fond chase. The more my prayer, the lesser is my grace. Happy is Hermia wheresoe'er she lies, for she hath blessed and attractive eyes. How came her eyes so bright? Not with salt tears, if so my eyes are oftener washed than hers. No, I am as ugly as a bear, for beasts that meet me run away for fear. Therefore no marvel, though Demetrius do, as a monster, fly my presence thus. What wicked and dissembling glass of mine made me compare with Hermia's sphereine? Who is here? Lysander on the ground? Dead or asleep? I see no blood, no wound. Lysander, if you live, good sir, awake.
And run through fire I will for thy sweet sake. Transparent Helena, nature shows art that through thy bosom makes me see thy heart. Where is Demetrius? Oh, how fit a word is that vile name to perish on my sword.
Do not say so, Lysander, say not so. What though he love your Hermia? Lord, what though? Yet Hermia still loves you, then be content.
Content with Hermia? No, I do repent the tedious minutes I with her have spent. Not Hermia, but Helena I love. Who will not change a raven for a dove? The will of man is by his reason swayed, and reason says you are the worthier maid. Things growing are not ripe until their season, so I, being young till now, ripe not to reason, and touching now the point of human skill, reason becomes the marshal to my will and leads me to your eyes, where I o'erlook love's stories written in love's richest book.
Wherefore was I to this keen mockery born? When at your hands did I deserve this scorn? Is not enough, young man, that I did never, no, nor never can deserve a sweet look from Demetrius' eye. But you must flout my insufficiency? Good troth, you do me wrong, good sooth you do, in such disdainful manner me to woo. But fare you well, perforce I must confess, I thought you lord of more true gentleness. Oh, that a lady of one man refused should of another therefore be abused.
Exit.
She sees not Hermia. Hermia, sleep thou there, and never mayest thou come Lysander near, for as a serpent of the sweetest things the deepest loathing to the stomach brings, or as high heresies that men do leave are hated most of those they did deceive, so thou, my surfeit and my heresy, of all be hated, but the most of me. And all my powers address your love and might to honor Helen, and to be her knight.
Exit.
Help me, Lysander, help me! Do thy best to pluck this crawling serpent from my breast. Ay me, for pity, what a dream was here! Lysander, look how I do quake with fear. Methought a serpent eat my heart away, and you sat smiling at his cruel prey. Lysander, what, removed? Lysander, Lord! What? Out of hearing? Gone? No sound? No word? Alack, where are you? Speak, and if you hear, speak of all loves. I swoon almost with fear. No? Then I well perceive you are not nigh. Either death or you I'll find immediately.
Exit. End of Act 2 of A Midsummer Night's Dream. A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. Act 3. Scene 1. The Wood. Titania lying asleep. Enter Quince, Snug, Bottom, Flute, Snout, and Starveling.
Are we all met?
Pat, and here's a marvellous convenient place for our rehearsal. This green plot shall be our stage, this hawthorn brake our tiring house, and we will do it in action as we will do it before the Duke.
Peter Quince?
What sayest thou, Bully Bottom?
There are things in this comedy of Pyramus and Thisbe that will never please. First, Pyramus must draw a sword to kill himself, which the ladies cannot abide. How answer you that?
By your Lincoln, a parlous fear.
I believe we must leave the killing out when all is done.
Not a whit. I have devised to make all well. Write me a prologue, and let the prologue seem to say we will do no harm with our swords, and that Pyramus is not killed indeed, and, for the more better assurance, tell them that I, Pyramus, am not Pyramus, but Bottom the Weaver. This will put them out of fear.
Well, we will have such a prologue, and it shall be written in 8 and 6.
No, Make it 2 more. Let it be written in 8 and 8.
Will not the ladies be afeard of the lion?
I fear it, I promise you.
Masters, you ought to consider with yourselves to bring in, God shield us, a lion among ladies is a most dreadful thing, for there is not a more fearful wildfowl than your lion living, and we ought to look to it.
Therefore, another prologue must tell he is not a lion.
Nay, you must name his name, and half his face must be seen through the lion's neck, and he himself must speak through, saying thus, or to the same defect, ladies, or fair ladies, I would wish you, or I would request you, or I would entreat you, not to fear, not to tremble, my life for yours. If you think I come hither as a lion, it were pity of my life. No, I am no such thing. I am a man, as other men are. And there indeed let him name his name, and tell them plainly he is Snug the Joiner.
Well, it shall be so. But there is 2 hard things. That is, to bring the moonlight into a chamber. For you know Pyramus and Thisbe meet by moonlight.
Doth the moon shine that night we play our play?
A calendar. Look in the almanac. Find out moonshine.
Yes, it doth shine that night.
Why, then may you leave a casement of the great chamber window where we play open, and the moon may shine in at the casement.
Aye, or else one must come in with a bush of thorns and a lanthorn, and say he comes to disfigure or to present the person of moonshine. Then there is another thing. We must have a wall in the great chamber, for Pyramus and Thisbe, says the story, did talk through the chink of a wall.
You can never bring in a wall. What say you, Bottom?
Some man or other must present wall, and let him have some plaster, or some loam, or some rough cast about him to signify wall. Let him hold his fingers thus, and through that cranny shall Pyramus and Thisbe whisper.
If that may be, then all is well. Come sit down, every mother's son, and rehearse your parts. Pyramus, you begin. When you have spoken your speech, enter into that break, and so every one according to his cue.
Enter Puck behind.
What hempen homespuns have we swaggering here so near the cradle of the Fairy Queen? What, a play toward? I'll be an auditor, an actor too perhaps if I see cause.
Speak, Pyramus. Thisbe, stand forth.
Thisbe, the flowers of odious savours sweet.
Odours.
Odours, savours sweet. So hath thy breath, my dearest Thisbe dear. But hark, a voice. Stay thou but here a while, and by I will to thee appear.
Exit.
A stranger Pyramus than e'er played here.
Exit.
Must I speak now?
I marry must you, for you must understand he goes but to see a noise that he heard, and is to come again.
Most radiant Pyramus, most lily-white of hue, of colour like the red rose and triumphant briar, most frisky juvenile, and eke, most lovely Jew, as true as horse that never yet would tire, I'll meet thee, Pyramus, at Ninny's tomb.
Ninna's tomb, man. Why, you must not speak that yet. Let your answers to Pyramus. You speak all your parts at once, cues and all. Pyramus, enter. Your cue is past. It is never tire.
Oh, as true his horse that yet would never tire.
Re-enter Puck and Bottom with an ass's head.
If I were fair, Thisbe, I were only thine.
O monstrous, O strange, we are haunted. Pray, masters, fly, masters, help!
Exeunt Quince, Snug, Flute, Snout, and Starveling.
I'll follow you. I'll lead you about, around, through bog, through bush, through brake, through briar. Sometime a horse I'll be, sometime a hound, a hog, a headless bear, sometime a fire, and neigh and bark and grunt and roar and burn like horse, hound, hog, bear, fire at every turn.
Exit.
Why do they run away? This is a knavery of them to make me afeard.
Re-enter Snout.
O Bottom, thou art changed. What do I see on thee?
What do you see? You see an ass head of your own, do you?
Exit Snout. Re-enter Quince.
Bless thee, Bottom, bless thee, thou art translated.
Exit.
I see their knavery. This is to make an ass of me, to fright me if they could. But I will not stir from this place, do what they can. I will walk up and down here and I will sing, that they shall hear I am not afraid. The ousel cock so black of hue, with orange tawny bill, the throstle with his note so true, the wren with little co-will.
What angel wakes me from my flowery bed?
The finch, the sparrow, and the lark, the plain-sung cuckoo grey, whose note full many a man doth mark, and dares not answer nay. For indeed, who would set his wit to so foolish a bird? Who would give a bird the lie, though he cry cuckoo, never so?
I pray thee, gentle mortal, sing again. Mine ear is much enamoured of thy note, so is mine eye enthralled to thy shape, and thy fair virtue's force perforce doth move me on the first view to say, to swear, I love thee.
Methinks, mistress, you should have little reason for that. And yet, to say the truth, reason and love keep little company together nowadays. More the pity that some honest neighbours will not make them friends. Nay, I can gleek upon occasion.
Thou art as wise as thou art beautiful.
Not so neither. But if I had wit enough to get out of this wood, I have enough to serve mine own turn.
Out of this wood do not desire to go. Thou shalt remain here, whether thou wilt or no. I am a spirit of no common rate. The summer still doth tend upon my state, and I do love thee. Therefore, go with me. I'll give thee fairies to attend on thee, and they shall fetch thee jewels from the deep, and sing while thou on pressed flowers dost sleep. And I will purge thy mortal grossness so, that thou shalt like an airy spirit go. Peas blossom, cobweb, moth, and mustard seed.
Enter Peas blossom, cobweb, moth, and mustard seed.
Ready. And I.
And I.
And I.
Where shall we go?
Be kind and courteous to this gentleman. Hop in his walks and gambol in his eyes. Feed him with apricots and dewberries, with purple grapes, green figs, and mulberries. The honey bags steal from the humble bees, and for night tapers crop their waxen thighs, and light them at the fiery glowworm's eyes, to have my love to bed and to arise, and pluck the wings from painted butterflies, to fan the moonbeams from his sleeping eyes. Nod to him, elves, and do him courtesies.
Hail, mortal!
Hail!
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 I cry your worship's mercy heartily. I beseech your worship's name.
Cobweb.
I shall desire you of more acquaintance, good Master Cobweb. If I cut my finger, I shall make bold with you. Your name, honest gentleman?
Peas blossom.
I pray you, commend me to Mistress Squash, your mother, and Master Peascod, your father. Good Master Peas blossom, I shall desire you of more acquaintance too. Your name, I beseech you, sir.
Mustard seed.
Good Master Mustard seed, I know your patience well. That same cowardly giant-like ox beef hath devoured many a gentleman of your house. I promise you, your kindred had made my eyes water ere now. I desire your more acquaintance, good Master Mustard seed.
Come, wait upon him, lead him to my bower. The moon, methinks, looks with a watery eye, and when she weeps, weeps every little flower, lamenting some enforced chastity. Tie up my love's tongue, bring him silently.
Exeunt. Scene 2. another part of the wood. Enter Oberon.
I wonder if Titania be awaked. Then, what it was that next came in her eye, which she must dote on in extremity.
Enter Puck.
Here comes my messenger. How now, mad spirit? What night rule now about this haunted grove?
My mistress with a monster is in love. Near to her close and consecrated bower, while she was in her dull and sleeping hour, a crew of patches, rude mechanicals that work for bread upon Athenian stalls, were met together to rehearse a play intended for great Theseus's nuptial day. The shallowest thickskin of that barren sort who Pyramus presented, in their sport forsook his scene and entered in a break. When I did him at this advantage take, an ass's knoll I fixed on his head. Anon his Thisbe must be answered, and forth my mimic comes. When they him spy as wild geese that the creeping fowler eye, or russet pated troughs, many in sort, rising and cawing at the gun's report, sever themselves and madly sweep the sky, so at his sight away his fellows fly. And at our stamp, here o'er and o'er one falls, he murder cries and help from Athens calls. Their sense thus weak, lost with their fears thus strong, made senseless things begin to do them wrong, for briars and thorns at their apparel snatch, some sleeves, some hats, from yield as all things catch. I led them on in this distracted fear, and left sweet Pyramus translated there, when in that moment, so it came to pass, Titania waked, and straightway loved an ass.
This falls out better than I could devise. But hast thou yet latched the Athenian's eyes with the love juice, as I did bid thee do?
I took him sleeping, that is finished too, and the Athenian woman by his side, that when he waked, of force she must be eyed.
Enter Hermia and Demetrius.
Stand close. This is the same Athenian.
This is the woman, but not this the man.
Oh, why rebuke you him that loves you so? Lay breath so bitter on your bitter foe.
Now I but chide, but I should use thee worse, for thou, I fear, hast given me cause to curse. If thou hast slain Lysander in his sleep, being o'er shoes in blood, plunge in the deep, and kill me too. The sun was not so true unto the day as he to me. Would he have stolen away from sleeping Hermia? I'll believe as soon this whole earth may be bored, and that the moon may through the centre creep, and so displease her brother's noontide with Antipodes. It cannot be but thou hast murdered him. So should a murderer look, so dead, so grim.
So should the murdered look, and so should I, pierced through the heart with your stern cruelty. Yet you, the murderer, look as bright, as clear as yonder Venus in her glimmering sphere.
What's this to my Lysander? Where is he? Ah, good Demetrius, wilt thou give him me?
I had rather give his carcass to my hounds.
Out, dog! Out, cur! Thou drivest me past the bounds of maiden's patience. Hast thou slain him then? Henceforth be never numbered among men. Oh, once tell true, even for my sake. Durst thou have looked upon him being awake, and hast thou killed him sleeping? Oh, brave touch! Could not a worm, an adder, do so much? An adder did it, for with doubler tongue than thine, thou serpent, never adder stung.
You spend your passion on a misprized mood. I am not guilty of Lysander's blood, nor is he dead for aught that I can tell.
I pray thee, tell me then that he is well.
And if I could, what should I get therefore?
A privilege never to see me more, and from thy hated presence part I so. See me no more, whether he be dead or no.
Exit.
There is no following her in this fierce vein. Here, therefore, for a while I will remain. So sorrow's heaviness doth heavier grow, for debt that bankrupt slave doth sorrow owe, which now in some slight measure it will pay, if for his tender here I make some stay.
Lies down and sleeps.
What hast thou done? Thou hast mistaken quite, and laid the love juice on some true love's sight. Of thy misprison must perforce ensue some true love turned, and not a false turned true.
Then fate o'errules that one man holding troth, a million fail, confounding oath on oath.
About the wood go swifter than the wind, and Helena of Athens look thou find, All fancy sick she is, and pale of cheer, with sighs of love that cost the fresh blood dear. By some illusion see thou bring her here, I'll charm his eyes against she do appear.
I go, look how I go, swifter than arrow from the Tartar's bow.
Exit.
Flower of this purple dye, hit with Cupid's archery, sink in apple of his eye. When his love he doth espy, let her shine as gloriously as the Venus of the sky. When thou wakest, if she be by, beg of her for remedy.
Re-enter Puck.
Captain of our fairy band, Helena is here at hand, and the youth mistook by me, pleading for a lover's fee. Shall we their fond pageant see? Lord, what fools these mortals be!
Stand aside. The noise they make will cause Demetrius to awake.
Then will two at once woo one. That must needs be sport alone. And those things do best please me that befall preposterously.
Enter Lysander and Helena.
Why should you think that I should woo in scorn? Scorn and derision never come in tears. Look, when I vow, I weep. And vows so born, in their nativity all truth appears. How can these things in me seem scorn to you, bearing the badge of faith to prove them true?
You do advance your cunning more and more. When truth kills truth, oh devilish holy fray, these vows are Hermia's. Will you give her o'er? Weigh oath with oath, and you will nothing weigh. Your vows to her and me put in two scales will even weigh, and both as light as tails.
I had no judgment when to her I swore.
Nor none in my mind now you give her o'er.
Demetrius loves her, and he loves not you.
Oh, Helena, goddess, nymph, perfect, divine. To what, my love, shall I compare thine eye? Crystal is muddy. Oh, how ripe and show thy lips, those kissing cherries tempting grow. That pure congealed white high tar snow, fanned with the eastern wind, turns to a crow when thou hold'st up thy hand. Oh, let me kiss this princess of pure white, this seal of bliss.
Oh, spite! Oh, hell! I see you all are bent to set against me for your merriment. If you were civil and knew courtesy, you would not do me this much injury. Can you not hate me, as I know you do, but you must join in souls to mock me too? If you were men as men you are in show, you would not use a gentle lady so, to vow and swear and super praise my parts, when I am sure you hate me with your hearts. You both are rivals and love Hermia, and now both rivals to mock Helena, a trim exploit, a manly enterprise, to conjure tears up in a poor maid's eyes with your derision. None of noble sort would so offend a virgin and extort a poor soul's patience, all to make you sport.
You are unkind to Demetrius, be not so, for you love Hermia. This you know I know. And here with all goodwill, with all my heart, in Hermia's love, I yield you up my part, and yours of Helena to me bequeath, whom I do love and will do till my death.
Never did mockers waste more idle breath.
Lysander, keep thy Hermia. I will none. If e'er I loved her, all that love is gone. My heart to her but as guest-wise sojourned, and now to Helen is it home returned, there to remain.
Helen, it is not so.
Disparage not the faith thou dost not know, lest to thy peril thou abide it dear. Look where thy love comes, yonder is thy dear.
Re-enter Hermia.
Dark night, that from the eye his function takes, the ear more quick of apprehension makes. Wherein it doth impair the seeing sense, it pays the hearing double recompense. Thou art not by mine eye, Lysander, found. Mine ear, I thank it, brought me to thy sound. But why unkindly didst thou leave me so?
Why should he stay whom love doth press to go?
What love could press Lysander from my side?
Lysander's love that would not let him bide, fair Helena, who more engilds the night than all you fiery O's and eyes of light. Why seek'st thou me? Could not this make thee know the hate I bear thee made me leave thee so?
You speak not as you think. It cannot be.
Lo! She is one of this confederacy. Now I perceive they have conjoined all three to fashion this false sport in spite of me. Injurious Hermia, most ungrateful maid, have you conspired? Have you with these contrived to bait me with this foul derision? Is all the counsel that we two have shared, the sisters' vows, the hours that we have spent, when we have chid the hasty-footed time for parting us, is it all forgot? All school days' friendship, childhood innocence? We, Hermia, like two artificial gods, have with our needles created both one flower, both on one sampler, sitting on one cushion, both warbling of one song, both in one key, as if our hands, our sides, voices, and minds had been incorporate. So we grow together like to a double cherry, seeming parted, but yet a union in partition. Two lovely berries molded on one stem, so with two seeming bodies but one heart. Two of the first like coats in heraldry, due but to one and crowned with one crest. And will you rent our ancient love asunder, to join with men in scorning your poor friend? It is not friendly, 'tis not maidenly. Our sex as well as I may chide you for it, though I alone do feel the injury.
I am amazed at your passionate words. I scorn you not. It seems that you scorn me.
Have you not set Lysander as in scorn to follow me and praise my eyes and face, and made your other love Demetrius, who even but now did spurn me with his foot, to call me goddess, nymph, divine and rare, precious, celestial? Wherefore speaks he this to her he hates? And wherefore doth Lysander deny your love, so rich within his soul and tender me, forsooth, affection, but by your setting on, but by your consent? What, though I be not so in grace as you, so hung upon with love, so fortunate, but miserable most to love unloved? This you should pity rather than despise.
I understand not what you mean by this.
I do persevere, counterfeit sad looks, make mouths upon me when I turn my back, wink at each other, hold the sweet jest up. This sport well carried shall be chronicled. If you have any pity, grace, or manners, you would not make me such an argument. But fare you well. 'Tis partly my own fault, which death or absence soon shall remedy.
Stay, gentle Helena. Hear my excuse. My love, my life, my soul, fair Helena.
Oh, excellent!
Sweet, do not scorn her so.
If she cannot entreat, I can compel.
Thou canst compel no more than she entreat. Thy threats have no more strength than her weak prayers. Helen, I love thee. By my life I do. I swear by that which I will lose for thee to prove him false that says I love thee not.
I say I love thee more than he can do.
If thou say so, withdraw and prove it too.
Quick, come.
Lysander, whereto tends all this?
Away, you Ethiop!
No, he'll seem to break loose, take on as you would follow, but yet come not. You are a tame man. Go!
Hang off, thou cat, thou burr! Vile thing, let loose, or I will shake thee from me like a serpent.
Why are you grown so rude? What change is this? Sweet love?
Thy love? Out, tawny Tartar, out! Out, loathed medicine, hated potion, hence!
Do you not jest?
Yes, sooth, and so do you.
Demetrius, I will keep my word with thee.
I would I had your bond, for I perceive a weak bond holds you. I'll not trust your word.
What, should I hurt her, strike her, kill her dead? Although I hate her, I'll not harm her so.
What, can you do me greater harm than hate? Hate me? Wherefore? Oh me, what news, my love? Am I not Hermia? Are not you Lysander? I am as fair now as I was erewhile. Since night you loved me, yet since night you left me. Why, then you left me? Oh, the gods forbid! In earnest, shall I say?
Ay, by my life, and never did desire to see thee more. Therefore be out of hope, of question, of doubt. Be certain nothing truer, 'tis no jest, that I do hate thee and love Helena.
Oh me, you juggler, you canker blossom, you thief of love! What, have you come by night and stolen my love's heart from him?
Fine, i'faith! Have you no modesty, no maiden shame, no touch of bashfulness? What, will you tear impatient answers from my gentle tongue? Fie! Fie, you counterfeit, you puppet, you!
Puppet? Why so? Aye, that way goes the game. Now I perceive that she hath made compare between our statures. She hath urged her height, and with her personage, her tall personage, her height forsooth, she hath prevailed with him. Are you grown so high in his esteem because I am so dwarfish and so low? How low am I, thou painted maypole? Speak, how low am I? I am not yet so low but that my nails can reach unto thine eyes.
I pray you, though you mock me, gentlemen, let her not hurt me. I was never cursed, I have no gift at all in shrewishness. I am a right maid for my cowardice, let her not strike me. You perhaps may think because she is something lower than myself that I can match her.
Lower? Hark again.
Good Hermia, do not be so bitter with me. I evermore did love you, Hermia, did ever keep your counsels, never wronged you, save that in love unto Demetrius I told him of your stealth unto this wood. He followed you. For love I followed him, but he hath chid me hence, and threatened me to strike me, spurn me, nay, to kill me too, and now, so you will let me quiet go, to Athens will I bear my folly back, and follow you no further. Let me go, you see how simple and how fond I am.
Why, get you gone. Who is it that hinders you?
A foolish heart that I leave here behind.
What, with Lysander?
With Demetrius!
Be not afraid. She shall not harm thee, Helena.
No, sir, she shall not, though you take her part.
Oh, when she's angry, she is keen and shrewd. She was a vixen when she went to school, and though she be but little, she is fierce.
Little again. Nothing but low and little. Why will you suffer her to flout me thus? Let me come to her.
Get you gone, you dwarf, you minimus of hindering Knotgrass maid, you bead, you acorn.
You are too officious in her behalf that scorns your services. Let her alone. Speak not of Helena. Take not her part. For if thou dost intend never so little show of love to her, thou shalt abide it.
Now she holds me not. Now follow, if thou darest, to try whose right of thine or mine is most in Helena.
Follow? Nay, I'll go with thee, cheek by jowl.
Exeunt Lysander and Demetrius.
You, mistress, all this coil is long of you. Nay, go not back.
I will not trust you, I, nor longer stay in your cursed company. Your hands than mine are quicker for a fray. My legs are longer, though, to run away.
Exit.
I am amazed, and know not what to say.
Exit.
This is thy negligence. Still thou mistakest, or else committest thy knaveries wilfully.
Believe me, King of Shadows, I mistook. Did not you tell me I should know the man by the Athenian garment he had on? And so far blameless proves my enterprise that I have anointed an Athenian's eyes. And so far am I glad it so did sort, as this their jangling I esteem a sport.
Thou seest these lovers seek a place to fight. Hide thee therefore, Robin, o'ercast the night. The starry welkin cover thou anon with drooping fog as black as Acheron, and lead these testy rivals so astray as one come not within another's way. Like to Lysander, sometime frame thy tongue, then stir Demetrius up with bitter wrong. And sometime rail thou like Demetrius, and from each other look thou lead them thus, till o'er their brows death counterfeiting sleep, with leaden legs and batty wings doth creep. Then crush this herb into Lysander's eye, whose liquor hath this virtuous property, to take from thence all error with his might, and make his eyeballs roll with wanton sight. When they next wake, all this derision shall seem a dream and fruitless vision, and back to Athens shall the lovers wend, with league whose date till death shall never end. Whiles I in this affair to thee employ, I'll to my queen and beg her Indian boy, and then I will her charmed eye release from monsters' view, and all things shall be peace.
My fairy lord, this must be done with haste, for night's swift dragons cut the clouds full fast, and yonder shines Aurora's harbinger, at whose approach ghosts wandering here and there troop home to churchyards, damned spirits all that in crossways and floods have burial, already to their wormy beds are gone, for fear lest day should look their shames upon. They wilfully themselves exile from light, and must for aye consort with black-browed night.
But we are spirits of another sort. I with the morning's love have oft made sport, and like a forester the groves may tread, even till the eastern gate, all fiery red, opening on Neptune with fair blessed beams, turns into yellow gold his salt green streams. But notwithstanding, haste, make no delay, We may effect this business yet ere day.
Exit.
Up and down, I will lead them up and down. I am feared in field and town. Goblin, lead them up and down. Here comes one.
Re-enter Lysander.
Where art thou, proud Demetrius? Speak thou now.
Here, villain, drawn and ready. Where art thou?
I will be with thee straight.
Follow me, then, to plainer ground.
Exit Lysander as following the voice. Re-enter Demetrius.
Lysander, speak again. Thou runaway, thou coward, art thou fled? Speak. In some bush, where dost thou hide thy head?
Thou, coward, art thou bragging to the stars, telling the bushes that thou look'st for wars, and wilt not come? Come, recreant, come thou child, I'll whip thee with a rod. He is defiled that draws a sword on thee.
Yea, art thou there?
Follow my voice. We'll try no manhood here.
Exeunt. Re-enter Lysander.
He goes before me and still dares me on. When I come where he calls, then he is gone. The villain is much lighter heeled than I. I followed fast, but faster did he fly. That fallen am I in dark uneven way, and here will rest me.
Lies down.
Come, thou gentle day, for if but once thou show me thy grey light, I'll find Demetrius and revenge this spite.
Sleeps. Re-enter Puck and Demetrius.
Oh, coward, why comest thou not?
Abide me if thou darest, for well I wot, thou runnest before me, shifting every place, and darest not stand nor look me in the face. Where art thou now?
Come hither, I am here.
Nay then, thou mockest me. Thou shalt buy this dear, if ever I thy face by daylight see. Go thy way. Faintness constrains me to measure out my length in this cold bed. At day's approach, look to be busy.
Lies down and sleeps. Re-enter Helena.
O weary night, O long and tedious night, abate thy hour. Shine comforts from the east, that I may back to Athens by daylight, from these that my poor company detest, and sleep, that sometimes shuts up sorrow's eye, steal me away from mine own company.
Lies down and sleeps.
Yet but 3. Come one more. 2 of both kinds make up 4. Here she comes, cursed and sad. Cupid is a knavish lad, thus to make poor females mad.
Re-enter Hermia.
Never so weary, never so in woe, bedabbled with the dew and torn with briars. I can no further crawl, no further go. My legs can keep no pace with my desires. Here will I rest me till the break of day. Heaven shield Lysander, if they mean a fray.
Lies down and sleeps.
On the ground, sleep sound. I'll apply to your eye, gentle lover, remedy.
Squeezing the juice on Lysander's eyes.
When thou wakest, thou takest true delight in the sight of thy former lady's eye, and the country proverb known that every man should take his own, in your waking shall be shown. Jack shall have Jill, naught shall go ill, the man shall have his mare again, and all shall be well.
Exit. End of Act 3 of A Midsummer Night's Dream.